Felt like the first go-round through this league was an eye-opener for a lot of guys in his dugout, understanding what 30 games in Southeastern Conference baseball is like, and it's like nothing you've ever experienced. He says you have to live it to understand. It's like a regional every single time when you get to conference play.
Trial by fire, and man, that guy's done a lot in his lifetime, knows the game, fun to talk to, and here we go.
So Barfield's first pitch to Bell, ground ball out to short. Willits will get Bell with one pitch.
That's the at-bat when you walk back to the dugout and everybody goes, what's he got? What's he got? You know, and you get kidded a little bit about not being patient as a leadoff hitter. You do know what's coming. So as a leadoff hitter, yeah, you know, that's most the battle.
McCoy right there is like, probably, hey, man, what's he got?
Yeah, what's he got? You know, what'd you see? I learned real quickly that I need to take a few pitches early in the game.
Hard to argue with Bell, though, with his year. 311, 10 home runs, 46 runs batted in at the top of that lineup. And everybody knows your name and top of the scouting report. But Luke Lawrence now will try to see a few pitches, the junior. The second baseman, 288 on the year. Yeah. For those that have not seen Kentucky play baseball the last few years under Nick Mingione, they manufacture runs any way they possibly can. The home run, not a big part of this team. They scored the lowest percentage of total runs via the home run, just 24%. That's the lowest number in the SEC. But they will certainly make you think for 9 innings.
65 stolen bases are first within the 30 games of the conference. 87 hit by pitches. They set a school record by hit by pitches. They seem to do that every year. 26 sack bunts is first, so a lot of first.
That's a foul ball by, looks like inches off the bat of Lawrence. Go back and do it again.
They don't necessarily hit the long ball. They've got 10 triples. That leads the conference. Doubles and triples are tied for third. So they do a little bit of everything. I had them a few weeks ago. You see slash bunts. They definitely do the little things right. Man on second, nobody out. Move them over. Ground ball the right side. Gets the sack flies in. They're leading the league with that when they need to. A lot of quality at bats from Kentucky's offense.
Kentucky is challenging the ruling of a foul ball. Previous plays under review.
Okay, now I'm like a quarter of a mile away. It was hard for me to make an assessment, but it did look from our angle to be a foul ball, but we'll find out for real here in a moment. Nick Mingione, of course, stands there at third base box, so he's got one of the best looks at it.
If he called for the replay, then he would know for sure. See if you see any chalk fly up.
Well, Minge is down there eyeballing it for sure.
And you see Eddie Newsome in the athletic stance looking at it too. So.
And Eddie's right down that line.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love Minge, but I'm going to defer to the guy that was looking right down the line in Eddie Newsome.
Well, judge for yourself. Yeah, I think from your mile and a half away, you were right. I think it's foul.
Ooh, that's close, though.
Is that touching the ground? Because that's on the line.
Maybe that is a fair ball. You know, they paint now, so there's no chalk to come up. Everything's kind of a paint thing.
Check the ball. Get white paint on it.
Yeah. Now we're going to
after review, the ball is fair.
Ooh.
The Kentucky runner will be placed at first base. Kentucky still has 2 challenges for the game.
Minge dead on it.
Was right. Okay.
Yeah, look at him. Yeah, Minge, you got one. Atta boy. It helps when you're down the third baseline, right? You're the coach. Didn't have to ask anybody, should I review it?
And he was right. You know, Eddie Newsome was right there too.
So now with 1 out, Lawrence over there at first base. Barfield will throw up over to first. Hage, dangerous hitter. 322, 39 runs batted in on a dozen home runs.
6'3", 240. So He gets a hold of a baseball, it goes. Gatorade Player of the Year in 2020 out of North Dakota, Fargo.
That one's up in the zone. It's 2-0. Kentucky rolls in here at 29-23, 13-17 in the league. They had a strange final 2 weekends of the conference season. They sweep Oklahoma, then they turn around and get swept by Vanderbilt. And 2 of those were walk-offs in Nashville by the Commodores.
Yeah, it feels like if they get in, it's going to be one of the last 4 in. And it felt like they needed one of those wins. You know, you get to 14, you remove all doubt. They win today. I think they're in.
Throw back over to first. Boy, Hayes just waiting for him to send a fastball right down the heart of the plate. And something tells me old Mr. Hayes can compress a baseball. It's up and away. Ball 4, first and second with 1 out.
Well, Barfield knew that too. Wasn't able to split the plate on that one. Base hit and a walk for Kentucky with 1 out.
Well, you take a look at Kentucky's number, their RPI right there in the mid-30s. Strength of schedule solid at 9. Of course, playing in this league will make that happen in a hurry. Right now, D1Baseball.com has them projected in the field as a 3 seed. And we've talked about it. You get a win here, and it kind of, you think, would put all that conversation to bed.
They had the 5th toughest schedule within the SEC. They lost 12 games by a total of 17 runs. 8 one-run games they lost.
It's a crazy stat.
Within the conference. Yeah, I mean.
Close play at second. Twelve of their SEC losses have been by a combined 17 runs. McCoy, 290 hitter with a couple of home runs. Boy, Barfield. Some high stress pitches here at the top of the first inning. McCoy, the junior out of Port St. Joe, Florida. That's 5 doubles to his credit. Skip Johnson looking on. That's in there for a strike, 1 and 2.
Big weekend for James McCoy against Vanderbilt. On base 7 times, 3 hits, 5 RBIs. Had the home run.
Close play again. Kyle Branch over there giving the signs to Barfield on how they want to play this again. They've picked over there 3 times now. 2 of them seriously. 1 of them was just, hey, we're still thinking about you. Up and away.
Arm side high, you hear the grunt from Jaden Barfield.
Opponent's hitting 283 against Barfield.
Yeah, they're really worried about Luke Lawrence. Stolen 11 this year, 11 for 16. And a lot of times that's just to keep him 1 step closer to the bag in case of a base hit, but little too much attention, I think, to second base.
Now both these teams will get out there and run now. Lawrence stays at second. Matter of fact, when it comes to stolen base attempt percentage of the season in the league, Kentucky's the best, 17%. Oklahoma right behind him at 15%. The average is 9%. That runners will take off. Little slow chopper. Barfield can't scoop it up, and everybody's going to be safe. Scored a base hit for James McCoy, and they're loaded.
That was going to be a tough play for Jaden anyway. Moving off of his right. If he makes the play moving away from the target, he would have to gather himself, keep the front shoulder down, and make an accurate throw. That ball can get thrown down the right field line in a hurry. But just wasn't able to grab it, and now bases loaded with one out for the Cats right out of the gates.
A little bit of movement going on in that Oklahoma bullpen. Somebody down there throwing the looks like the weighted balls against a wall. So clearly not ready to go, but Patrick Herrera is ready to go. He's got the bases loaded and one out. Well, these are the moments where you just like wonder what Kentucky's thinking. What is Nick Mingione thinking right now? Are we going to maybe lay down a bunt, get a run across? Instead, we get a comebacker to the mound. They'll go home with it. Carmichael over to first, double play, and the Sooners get out of it. Did not look good for Jaden Barfield and company, but he got the comebacker in a double play and nothing on the board for the Cats.
Well, Jaden Barfield dodges a bullet here in the top of the first. 1, 2, 3. Double play, and we're out. But in 30 SEC games, he's hitting .336 with 8 home runs at OPS, close to 1.6. So we talked to Skip about that. He's just extended the lineup a little bit by keeping those guys in their spots.
Here is Walk, a .286 hitter on the year, fouls that one straight back. The sophomore out of Ackworth, Georgia. Hit .281 last year. A little bit better here in 2025. Well, he came out as the top infield prospect in Georgia a couple of years ago. Number 3 overall prospect in the state. Fouls that one off his foot. Walk had an inside the park homer against Bama. This is the kind of park here you get somebody diving in a gap. He's the kind of guy that can certainly touch them all.
Yeah, he can move. 16 stolen bases. Gets on base 41%.
Andrew Fisher, we saw him just a moment ago, of Tennessee. Swing and a miss. That'll be out number 1. Andrew Fisher has a 501 on base percentage.
Transfer from Ole Miss. He's had a big year. Scott Rouse, Kentucky starter, just blows Jason Walk away for the first out. 5th-year senior, transfer from Radford, had 14 starts last year. Low 90s fastball, slider change.
Trey Gamble, ooh, right back up to Rouse, and that'll be a base hit. 94 miles an hour. Came back probably a little over 100.
I was going to say, came back with more velocity behind it. Just center cut and center cut. Right back up the middle. Scott Rouse, his out pitch is his changeup. He gets about 50% swing and misses. Wasn't able to get to it against Trey Gamble. Last week, May 13th, only gave up 2 hits in the midweek versus Northern Kentucky. 70 pitches for Scott Rouse.
Here's Easton Carmichael, the Oklahoma catcher.
There's a look at that changeup.
Yeah, good one.
And usually the guy in front of you turns that fastball around on the first pitch. You're not getting the same pitch. You're getting something else. And Easton Carmichael bites on it.
Carmichael with 14 homers and 54 runs batted in. Andrew Fisher of Tennessee leads the conference with 22 homers. Ace Reese right behind him at 21. And Georgia's Robbie Burnett at 20. Bulldogs, speaking of the Bulldogs, they'll get the winner of this one tomorrow. Georgia leading the country with 132 home runs. That is 12 better than Tennessee, who finished second in the conference.
You had them last week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they can swing it, especially in Athens.
And they were without Robbie Burnett and Zaborowski. They're big home. They're both of them have been banged up, but they got Zabo back in the lineup on Saturday. They both should be able to play it here at the tournament tomorrow. Foul ball at the plate as that one hits Carmichael in the box. So if we're like looking at an Oklahoma baseball team, you're first year in this league. Obviously Texas wins the league, unbelievable run, but Oklahoma season would be the regular season a success. First go round in this league. How would you judge? How would you rate and judge kind of what they did through 30 games?
14 wins, pretty strong. That's a losing record, but in the SEC, I mean, you'll take it. And I think Skip Johnson's done a fantastic job. First time around the league. They do have one of the best pitchers in the country. Kyson Witherspoon, his brother Malachi, has done really well in the second half. So pitching start to come along. That man right there, Skip Johnson, a pitching coach and a scratch bowler.
That one's popped up. Is he going to get to the seats? I believe so. Last year, this Oklahoma team won the Big 12 regular season championship. Had 12 sweeps in the Big 12 during the regular season last year. I mean, just an incredible run. It was their first ever regular season championship, and then all of a sudden they close the door on their Big 12 run and bring that operation over here to the SEC.
Well, then ultimately they're going to make the field of 64. So, I mean, it's that question has yet to be answered. I mean, they could make a big run in the postseason and get it done.
Lost 22 letter winners from last year, did the Sooners. Brought in 28 newcomers, 16 transfers. 11 of those 16 transfers came from the junior college ranks, where Todd Butler, his assistant coach, I mean, he is, when you talk about junior college, let's see, as they're going to get it out at first. I was wondering what they were going to do with that play, a slow roller. But Luke Lawrence finally makes the throw over to first. But Todd Butler just scours junior college campuses, and he's the one who brings in the talent. Glad to have him on that bench.
Good guy, Todd Butler. How about that play by Lawrence? I mean, he made a really weird play look pretty smooth. Yeah. That runner gets in front of you, it can distract you big time. And the second thing is you want to turn that double play. So sometimes it's forced, but Lawrence able to stay under control and just get the out.
Jackson Willits now. The sophomore shortstop. Played a bunch last year. And midway through the season, as hot as anybody at the plate. But things have kind of fallen off for him a bit down the stretch.
Yeah, he was 4 for 4 back on April 18th against Missouri. Since then, 6 for 45, 133. And he can really hit, especially from the right side of the plate. 370. He's on the left side now, of course, 266. Got more power on the left side. But Skip Johnson has left him in this 4-hole, and I love it. You know, you have to feel comfortable as a hitter. Every hole's different. Your protection, other things that go on. They have kept him in this spot. Of course, his dad, Reggie Willits, one of the coaches on this staff, runs the offense. And they've left Trey Gamble and Willits right where they are. Gamble with the base hit a few hitters earlier.
The 2-2 to Willits, misses inside. Sharply hit, gloved over there by Brown. Underhand toss to Rouse, and that'll get the Cats off the field. So Oklahoma will leave a runner on base and nothing doing. We are scoreless after one.
How about Brown over there making a cut? Makes the play, a little flip, nice job. Cats off the field.
Birmingham, been here for 28 years, 27 consecutive years. How about this? I've been here for every one of these that have been in this ballpark.
Strong.
I don't know how I've managed that.
What was the first year?
1996. That was my first year here.
Nice.
And then went in 97, went to Columbus.
1 year.
And then came back here and been here ever since. And there have been a couple of times where you thought it was going to move to Memphis or somewhere else. But the folks here at Hoover do all they can to make sure this event stays right here. And I think from a fan standpoint, it's about as central maybe as you could get it. I guess now the conference has expanded a little further west with Oklahoma and Texas. But it's a good location. The people that come here, they're familiar with the area. And it's just been a great home over the years. And the ballpark, the size of the ballpark is perfect.
Yeah, I think it plays fair. Wind's blowing a little out today, out to left field. But, yeah, it's a fair ballpark. The playing surface is nice. The stands, as you can tell. This is why I love this tournament like this. 4 games today. You can come in, sit wherever you want, grab some food, watch a game. If you're in the RV parking lot, you can just go out there, take a nap, come back, go back and forth.
Good luck as the tournament goes on. You could go up there and sit on the hill.
Sit on the hill for free.
Some new seats right there underneath the scoreboard in right field.
There you go.
So Gargett will step in after the walk to Hansen. That's in there for a strike. Barfield already a couple of walks in this game and 2 hits allowed. Got himself out of trouble on a comebacker in the top of the first with the bases loaded. You know, 1-2-3 double play to get the Sooners in the dugout. He's ahead 0-2. Barfield on the year, 15 strikeouts and 9 walks over his 15 2/3 innings.
This is a tough one. Caius Gargett holds the youth world deadlift record when he was 10 years old. I don't know how that helps you in baseball, but it's pretty cool.
It's a trophy.
Yep.
And it's not a participation trophy. It's a winner trophy.
World deadlift record.
Slow roller. Willits fires on the run, and that'll be the first out of the inning, but that will get. Let's go back to that picture of. I didn't even know that there was a world championship for deadlifting at 10.
Love it. Everything you can get into at 10 years old, he's lifting weights and setting records. Strong.
I can tell you this, I was not lifting weights at 10 years old. It kind of shows now.
You know what else he does?
What?
Travels the country on dog shows. Well-rounded kid.
You just travel around in your RV, watch a ball.
Fill it full of dogs and let's go. Let's go.
Here's Hudson Brown. Hudson, a 250 hitter with a couple of home runs. Up and in on Brown. A A redshirt freshman out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Another big boy. Checks in 6'6", 230. Throw back to second. Gets it back safely.
Jayden Barfield's all about keeping that runner close at second base. Man, as he looked over there a lot, he gets a guy on second. He's picked at least 7 or 8 times so far in this game.
8 throwbacks. Pickoff moves by Barfield today already. There's a strike, 2-2. That'll be out number 2. Big strikeout by Barfield. That'll be his first of the game.
16 strikeouts on the year for Jayden Barfield. And that slider's the reason why. He's a lefty specialist, primarily throughout the year out of the bullpen. Comes in to get the lefties out. Does it right there with the slider for the second out.
Devin Burks, the veteran catcher, hitting 9th in the lineup today. He looks at a first pitch strike. Devin has kind of gradually moved down the lineup as the season has unfolded, and now rests in the 9-hole. 230 average on the year, that OPS at 733, but 5 home runs. Ground ball to third, and that'll be a foul ball.
Yeah, for that team that made it to Omaha for the first time in Kentucky history under Nick Mingione, Devin Burks hit the middle line-up. You know, he's hitting 3 and 4 for most of last year, hitting 230. I think Minge likes him there because, you know, he can do anything. He can bunt. He, you know, for a catcher, he steals a lot of bases, and he can just do a lot of things with the bat. So he's kind of hit throughout the lineup over his career at Kentucky.
What a run last year for this team. All the way to Omaha. Nick Mingione took over this program and got that new stadium, Kentucky Proud Park, up in Lexington. It's been a real game changer for them.
Yeah, I was just there about a week and a half ago in this Oklahoma series. It's fantastic.
Burks looking at a 1-2 pitch. That one is to the left side. Willis across the diamond and makes a nice strong throw, and that'll do it. Cats will leave a runner heading to the bottom of the second, scoreless here in Hoover. There's team, though, we talked about it. That one team that, you know, maybe sitting on the fence, kind of got both feet on the side of going into the tournament, but they'd like to hop off the fence with a win today.
This win would hop them off for sure. But they've got the 13 wins. This would give them 14 off that list. I think you saw 6 top 8s.
Yeah.
You know, host a super, and then a few more to host just the regionals, the top 16. Last year we got 11 in the field of 64 in the SEC, which was a record. Of course, now we've added 2 teams, and everybody in the SEC hoping they get 13 in this year.
Here's Dayton Taki, the junior, transferred in from Weatherford Junior College, which is there in Texas. 6'2", 230-pounder. Makes his home out of Fort Worth.
Finally got him back.
Yeah.
Hasn't played since April 24th.
Junior College World Series getting underway this weekend down in Grand Junction, Colorado. That's where Dayton Taki's season finished last year, as Weatherford Junior College finished 3rd. Skip Johnson's son on the way to Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yeah, McClellan.
Yep.
That's funny talking to him about the conversations he has with his son, you know, and you have a son playing baseball, I have a son, and those You know, it's really touchy sometimes as to what you can say and what you can't. You know, Skip eventually, he says he waits for his son to call before he'll say anything, you know, for advice. But, you know, we know as fathers that it's very difficult. You want to add your 2 cents in on just about everything. I think my son's had about enough.
Ground ball to the right side, gobbled up there by Brown. He'll step on the bag. Our conversation was on the pitcher is basically now, when he turned like 13, my coaching career kind of ended. He was way beyond me telling him anything. So now basically I just say, don't suck.
That's great advice.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
leave it
great
there.
advice for life.
That kind of just sums it up. And you know what he says to me when I hit the road to go do a game or something?
Don't suck.
Don't suck.
That's right.
We have a great language.
A lot going on there, yeah.
Rouse delivers a strike to Horton. Another ground ball to the right side. Hits the bag. Fair ball. Brown better hustle. Slides. Did he hit the white bag? He did. Did the runner hit the white bag? We've got the safety bag over there.
I was just going to say, isn't it amazing in a day and age where we put the green bag in to prevent collisions, we get a collision. And he barely touched that white bag with that left foot, and hopefully he's okay. Braden Horton only making his 5th start of the year. Good reflexes there at first base by Brown, and ouch.
You know, that's sports. So I mean, like, we can do all the safety precautions you want, but certain times there's going to be a play where you just can't avoid it.
Luckily, nobody was hurt on that one. Looked like Brown kind of twisted his ankle on that deal, and then Horton just with the somersault.
Off the end of the bat, stays 0-2. We're going to talk to Kyson Witherspoon next half inning, Oklahoma's standout pitcher. Saw him throw a bullpen yesterday. It's not too often I get to stand there next to the field and watch a guy throw 96, 97 bullpen stuff, and it's popped him up. Amazing. Can't wait to talk to him next half inning as Burks makes the catch to close it out for Kentucky. Good inning for Rouse and company. We will visit with Mr. Witherspoon when we come back on the other side. He has been something special here in 2025. Slot, Kyson Witherspoon. Well, that's a good list of players right there. Liam Dole, Kate Anderson, Kyson Witherspoon. And how about this? The magic of television. Kyson down in that dugout joining us, putting the headset on. And Tyler Bell will step in for Kentucky here against Barfield. But Kyson, welcome. Thanks for joining us, man. It's great to see you. Great to kind of just visit with you. Thoughts about, I know you've only been here for a couple days now, but thoughts about Oklahoma being in the SEC, being in this tournament. You guys getting excited about the last few days?
Oh, yeah, we're ready. I'm ready to get going. Trying to have a good game right here and get to the next one.
Kyson, your brother Malachi on the team as well. I know you guys have a great relationship, but how cool is it to be able to play high-level baseball with your brother?
Attaboy. Oh, that's awesome. It's really the same. I can't really say it's any different than what I've grown up playing with. He's been on every team I've been on. Just being able to carry it all the way to this level is just such a blessing.
This has been one of those years for you that it's been special, spectacular. Are you able to enjoy any of it, or is it just a grind that you have to go through? I mean, talk me through this season and what it's meant to you.
Oh, I definitely enjoy it. I play the game because I love it. There's nothing more fun than going out there on the bump and showing what I can do, but I love the work. I love the work aspect, but just having the lights on me. Come on, get there.
That one's going to drop off the bat of Lawrence. He's going to get to second and stand right there. But yeah, I mean, the lights have been on you, buddy. I mean, Todd and I were there for the LSU-Oklahoma series, and it was 45 degrees, drizzling, nasty, and you and Kate Anderson put on a show. I got to think those are the kind of moments that just get the blood pumping, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What was, as far as the season go, like, was there a moment that stands out to you? You look back at the regular season, a game, a moment that you kind of will lean on, look back as a successful moment for you?
I think I look back at some of my favorite outings. I think Georgia is one of my favorites. I think that was one where I was pretty pumped up. And just going against the guys that I've seen growing up, just have success and showing that I can compete with those guys. That was the most fun I've had this year.
Guys, in the 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, I mean, that's incredible. 112 strikeouts on the year. What have you learned this year from last year?
It's a lot easier getting strikeouts when you get ahead in the count. Trying to be too fine last year. I had probably 2.5 pitches to work with last year, but with what I've got right now, just working in the zone, showing a lot of success there, just help the K's keep coming.
What's it been like playing for Skip Johnson?
Oh, that's awesome. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. Love that guy. He's helped me in so many ways on and off the field. He's a great guy. Call him if I'm in any trouble, anything going on, give that man a call. He'll be right there with me.
We know he loves to hunt. We know he loves to bowl for money. Has he gotten you yet in any of those?
No, he's not. But there's one of our guys throwing the bullpen, and every pitch he threw, he'd give like whatever he thought that pitch was, the equivalent to that in bowling.
Okay.
He's like, oh, that was a good pitch. You got a little 8 pins there. You got a spare right here. Let's make this pitch, or something like that. He's full of analogies.
Hey, I know your brother was pumping like 100 triple digits the other day.
101 he got.
Could you see that coming?
From how he was warming up, there was no doubt in my mind. He was amped. I loved it.
As we look ahead to the future and stuff, and people talking about you and the draft and all that stuff, how hard is it to not focus on that and know that you still got some baseball here with your buddies in the dugout?
Oh, it's not very hard at all to me. We've preached like all season, be where your feet are. And that's all I'm trying to do, focus on the game, focus on getting ready for my next outing, and when I'm not throwing, just being there all I can for my guys.
So Malachi's older, right?
I am, 14 minutes older.
14 minutes older.
Yes,
do you guys
sir.
room together in Norman?
No, we stay in the same house, but on the road trips, we got different roommates.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only hang around so much, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the love
yeah.
only goes so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, USA Baseball in 2024, how big a deal was that for you?
Huge. Just putting on that jersey felt like a superhero. I've been wanting to play for Team USA my whole life.
I know it's crazy. Like, there aren't many opportunities for USA Baseball growing up, and everybody I talk to, man, it's like the thrill of their life, and I can only imagine what it's like to travel around with the best college players in the country. I'm just curious what you took away from that event.
That I belong there, really. All those guys, they're awesome. I feel like we're all just a bunch of kids playing a good game, and just the guys are really good. Felt really comfortable there, and just showing that I compete with the best.
Well, man, it's been awesome watching you pitch this year. Continued success. I know the draft's around the corner, some work left to do, and good luck the rest of the way, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Barfield getting a strikeout.
Huge. And on third, less than 2 outs, just put the ball in play, and Barfield just runs through Cole Hage.
You know, you talked about Malachi and Kyson. There they are. Who knew they would end up at Oklahoma together, both on the mound, and the fact that Malachi was hitting 100 and 101.
But Kyson did that in our game too.
Yeah.
He pumped it up triple digits. I mean, 2 kids in the same household throwing 100. It's amazing. Talented.
I just think that both those, the Witherspoons are from Neptune Beach, Florida, hanging out in Norman, Oklahoma with Skip Johnson. That combination just makes me chuckle. If you don't know Skip, he is just a good old boy. I mean, like, he could be your best friend in 2 seconds.
And using bowling analogies in a bullpen.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you left the rolling 10-pin. What are we doing?
Oh, my gosh, he's beautiful. It
10 300 games from Skip Johnson in bowling.
That one shot foul off the bat of McCoy.
Told you, he showed us his rings from all of that. 2 800 days. 3 games, 800. That's what he was most proud of. But he can use that stuff, you know, the pressure you put on yourself to try to bowl a 300 game, you know, loosening your grip, certain other things he uses to help these pitchers out.
Yeah, he's an exceptional pitching coach. Still calling the pitches as you saw there. Grounded to third. That one scoots past Dawson Willis. And Kentucky will strike first, and they lead it 1-0. It's going to go down as an E5.
They teach you as infielders not to give ground unless it's a big hop. You see Willis kind of on skates a little bit, backing up, and it just eats him up. Even if he blocks that ball on the left side, it's going to be difficult to make that play, and just didn't charge the short hop. That's a do or die situation right there. Just wasn't able to come up with it. Cats on the board.
We're going to say safe at second.
Coy a perfect 6 for 6 on stolen bases this year. Nice jump from the left-hander. A lot of times as a runner too, you're watching the the pitcher's face, like, you know, the timing of whether he looks at you at all, or he looks at you and then looks at home for a second and then goes. Sometimes you go first move. I think that was a read for James McCoy, and once Jaden Barfield quit paying attention to him, he knew he could take it.
Big swing and a miss from Patrick Herrera. Kentucky's now stolen 121 bases on the year.
The slider from Jaden. It's like it hit the back foot.
Ooh.
Herrera. And the catcher, Carmichael.
Boy, can't afford to lose him. He has been a stalwart for the Sooners this year. Caught him just underneath that pad on the left side. He's like, dang, son, put that in play. Or miss it. Just don't hit me.
Those catchers go through, man, day in and day out. In high school, I was catching what I guess we called bullpens off the gym floor inside when it was raining. That was the end of my catching career.
One day, that was it. Ground ball out to short. Willits comes up firing and across the diamond, but Kentucky picks up the run. They've now led in 28 of the 31 SEC games they have played this year. First go round. Longhorns already have captured the regular season trophy. It's hard to believe that Georgia, I mean, they've won it all. They've been to Omaha a bunch. I mean, it's just like, why they can't do it here?
Tough, man. Tough week. Tough week for everybody.
You've said it. Sometimes it might be harder to win this than.
Well, you only get the one day off.
Yeah.
If you start today, you got to win 5 in a row against the SEC. I mean, it's just, wow. And then even for the 1 through 4 seeds, they've got a sweep on the weekend with the 3 games. Somebody's going to do it, but very tough.
Son Harris leads things off for Oklahoma. We look at that graphic. Of course, LSU with the most tournaments, followed by Alabama tournament wins. Pulmonary in that mix too. He's tied with LSU Skip Bertman and Alabama's Jim Wells with 6 tournament titles. That one's popped up. Let's stay in play for Burks right in front of that dugout, and it'll bounce off the top of the dugout. But there's pretty good coaches right there. Pulmonary, Skip Bertman, and Jim Wells. Each have won 6 tournament titles. Matter of fact, Pulmonary, who's back here with South Carolina, has the best overall win percentage here. He's won 79% of his games and 38 total victories at the SEC tournament. Rouse misses inside badly. 2-2. Again, misses inside. It's now full 3-2. Rouse fouls that one off, the sophomore from Plano, Texas. Didn't play much last year, which was a very experienced ball club. You weren't going to get a whole lot of action as a freshman. But did get a little taste of the Big 12 title. And then lines that one right back up the middle. Rouse again, self-defense, puts the glove up. Luckily didn't hit him. 93-mile-an-hour fastball again. Probably hotter than that coming back at you.
That's the second time in this game he's had to pull a matrix. Trey Gamble back in the first, same exact swing right over Rouse's head. Leadoff base hit for Oklahoma, trying to respond to that run by Kentucky at the top of the inning.
When Kentucky swept Oklahoma in the regular season a couple of weeks ago, did not trail at the end of any full inning in that series. The Cats left that weekend feeling pretty good about themselves, and they go to Vanderbilt, get walked off twice and swept to finish the regular season. Just that's this league. Willis squares up to bunt, throw back to first.
No, another thing about Rouse, remember, he got popped in the head last year.
That's right.
And he's wearing a special shell on his cap.
Big swing and a miss. He's had a couple of them come right back at him today.
Important for pitchers to be in a defensive position once you let the ball go. Don't fall off to the left side if you're right-handed.
It's just basically that cap's like a hard shell cap underneath it.
Yeah, you know it's got to be spooky for Scott Rouse, already twice in this game. Right back at him.
Swing and a miss, 92 miles an hour, gets Willis.
Not that spooky. Scott Rouse, second strikeout today. Just blowing fastballs by Dawson Willis out of the 9th spot. Turns the lineup back over to Jason Walk. Rouse got back in the first inning with the strikeout.
First out of the inning, and here's Jason Walk. At the top of the lineup, Walk struck out his first time. Walk hitting .284 on the year. Talking about Rouse in that hat. You could see that shell on the inside. I think that it's already hot enough. Out! One's fouled out of play. There was a minor league baseball coach hit by a foul ball. Unfortunately, it was a fatal hit impact, and I don't know how long ago that was, 10, 12 years ago maybe, and now required to wear the hard helmet if you're coaching the bases.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, I haven't seen a whole bunch of fingers get messed up with the oven mitt, and I haven't seen a whole lot of collisions at first, but I have seen pitchers get popped in the head, and some fans before they had all this netting, you know.
That ball is blistered deep to right, off the bat of Walk. Is it enough? Yes, it is. Mr. Walk will take a jog around the bases. Number 8.
When you got that kind of pop out of the leadoff spot, you've got something. Jason Walk gets a Rouse four-seamer, catches it perfectly out to right field. And again, that wind has shifted from the left over to right a little bit. Ball's carrying out today. Jason Walk Gets the Sooners going 2 runs here into the bottom of the 3rd.
That one misses inside to Gamble. That's just the 3rd home run allowed by Rouse this year. Over 40 innings of work. There's a strike, 1 and 2. Gamble's first time up, singled. That one misses inside. Gamble, the junior college transfer, played at Salt Lake City Community College out of Alpine, Utah. Junior college All-American before coming to Oklahoma. A couple of brothers played. One of them played at BYU. Another one there right now, Tate, currently with the Cougars. Parents are probably like, yeah, we got a couple teams in Big 12 now. We can see each other sometimes. Maybe it'll make it easier. And then all of a sudden, Oklahoma's now in the SEC, and all those plans went out the window.
I think another baseball family, pretty proud of everybody. Pretty impressive to have that much talent. Like the Witherspoons, the Willets.
Yep. I know your boys at Houston Christian just killing the baseball right now. Houston Christian was not very good last year, coached by Lance Berkman, gave it up and turned it over. And man, they have made a huge turnaround.
Big weekend this past weekend, the Southland Conference Tournament. As the 6th seed, they win their side. UNO, of course, won the other side, so they play each other this weekend. And it's kind of cool to see your son, be involved in high-level, high-emotional baseball. And it was fun to watch last weekend. They were at UTRGV. And now they get to host UNO this weekend coming up.
That ball is off the plate. That'll be a walk. And University of Texas Rio Grande is where Skip Johnson went to school, but under a different name. But here's Walk's home run.
Yeah, extension out to right field, and held onto that bat long enough, but he knew it was gone.
I think it was Texas Pan American. Was that the?
It was the old name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they renamed it. Yeah, beautiful ballpark down there. About 10 miles from the border. Went down, saw the opener of that tournament on Thursday.
It's gonna be hard to get warmed up if you can't get in the bullpen.
They locked them out.
Oklahoma locked them in, I guess, out or in, however you want to say it.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know that I've ever seen.
No, that's beautiful.
They got to climb the fence.
They're literally on the fence, Kentucky. That is too good. If that's a prank by Oklahoma, that is the best.
Don't let them in.
All right. All good. That would be great, though. That would be a great gag, would it not be? If it
just could not get in.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't climb the fence. You're just standing out there.
I'm glad they didn't ask me to climb that fence.
I think you could do it now, man. You're looking good.
I might be able to get to the top, but getting down, it might be a little difficult. Bad knees. Remember when you were a kid, you used to like flip over the fence. I mean,
parkour everywhere.
Those boys could get over it. I know that. Carmichael looks at a ball outside. Burke's throw down a little bit high, and Gamble will be safe at second base.
Good jump from Gamble. Burke's now 3 for 29 and catching base stealers. Trey Gamble off and running after the home run by Jason Walk. Still with only one out now. Runner in scoring position, 3-4-5 for Oklahoma.
Ground ball left side. That sees a hole. Here comes Gamble around third. The throw's going to go to second, and the Sooners have tied this one up. Taking the lead, excuse me, 2-1.
Well, Easton Carmichael's just been electric, especially within the conference. 30 games, he's hit .336 with 8 home runs. The most impressive thing, that OPS, the balance between patience and power, 1.6 within that 30 games for Easton Carmichael, and whips that ball to the left side, pushes another run across for the Sooners.
I mean, Carmichael's been their most consistent, productive hitter. And comes up big again for the Sooners. So walk with a home run. The RBI single from Carmichael have given the Sooners this 2-1 lead. Sooners sitting at number 27 in the NCAA RPI, 17th in strength of schedule. Their numbers are fantastic. Kentucky, 37 RPI. First trip ever for Oklahoma in this building. Jackson Willits 0 for 1. Looks at a 3-0 and 4 straight off the plate. Now they'll be first and second with 1 out.
Things starting to unravel a little bit for Scott Rouse. Last 5 of 6 have reached base. Man's a little concerned.
Dayton Taki grabbing a bat. Mingione taking that walk out to the mound. He's going to make a change. Evan Byers, welcome to the fray. We'll step aside, update his numbers when we come back. Dots, go down there and get you some Dippin' Dots.
There you go, love it.
Evan Byers not worried about Dippin' Dots, making his 26th appearance of the year.
And only 14 innings, so he's clearly in there to get the next 2 guys. Lefty specialist, lefty's only hitting a $136 off of him. Right-handers 406, 300-point difference. So he's in there to get the lefty Taki and the left-hander Horton.
I mean, listen, that's like 2 games shy of half of Kentucky's season he's pitched in.
But again, only comes in for 1 or 2 outs and move on to the next.
And he's played more than some position guys have. Yeah, it didn't take Nick Mingione long to go get Byers, and Dayton Taki 0 for 1, 291.
He's only given up the 3 hits to left-handed hitters in those 26 games, now 26th game.
Looks at strike 1.
And that's why, as a left-handed hitter, you see that guy turn sideways or, 3/4, that ball is being released behind you. And you really have to make an effort to keep that right shoulder in, because you have a tendency to try to move out with the baseball where the release point is. And it's very difficult to stay on that ball, especially on the outside corner.
Like that would be an easy pitch to bail on. He hangs in there. 0-2. Fouled off. 1-2. We'll do it again. And that left-hand sweeper from a sidearm left-hander, that's just a crazy pitch to even think about hitting. Taki not horrible against lefties, 257. I don't know that he's seen a lefty quite like this, though.
Yeah, it does have the 1 home run, but I think it's more about the pitcher than it is, you're right, than the hitter. I mean, like if I faced Randy Johnson my whole life, I'd never get a hit.
Yeah.
Even though I had some left-handed base hits.
Now, this might be a little too detailed, but do you remember if your hits against Randy Johnson, were they all breaking balls, or were you getting fastballs from him?
I didn't get a hit. I was 0 for 7.
Oh,
0 for 7.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. No, he would set up the slider with that 97,
Yeah.
usually up and in, and then slider, and then you had no chance because you have to guess one or the other. There's no reacting to pitches against Randy Johnson. But I wasn't even able to dress out with Minnesota if a lefty was on the mound. So at least Bob Boone in Cincinnati gave me a chance.
Opportunity.
Yeah, I got to start twice against Randy Johnson. What are we doing?
Runners go, swing and a miss. They'll give up the bases, so they'll be at second and third, but 2 out now.
Yeah, it's just nasty. Lefty on lefty matchup from Byers. A lot of different angles, balls moving all over the place. This is the changeup. Just never gets there. And usually you don't throw a left-handed hitter a changeup because they're sitting back. But that ball just darted out of the zone and pretty nasty. Another left-hander.
So here is Braden Horton. 85 miles an hour, fouls that one back. So you have to convince yourself, you know, you got Randy Johnson, and you have to convince yourself, like, okay, today's a day, I'm going to hit this guy. No other left-handers can really hit him. So from that walk that's, say, 40 feet from the on-deck circle to the plate, are you talking to yourself at that point?
Well, now I've seen Larry Walker turn him around, lefty on lefty. Okay. You know, well, that's a different level.
I'm talking about Todd Walker.
Yeah, that's a different Walker. Yeah. This Walker, this Walker had a tough time. You know, the sliders again, like you're looking fastball, so you're geared up for 97, 98. With some dynamic, you know, movement on that fastball, and then he just starts to go to work on you with the sliders. And you can't look to pull against these guys. You got to look up the middle the other way. If he does throw it middle in, you get jammed, but at least you have a chance. But you try to pull these guys, and again against Randy or other left-handers, Tony Saunders was nasty for the Rays, then you're out.
I was just curious what the mindset was in that 30-foot walk. That ball's lifted in the air out to right, and it'll be caught there by McCoy, and the inning is over. Well, it seems like it was a while ago, but this guy got Oklahoma on the board. Jason Walk with his 8th homer of the season. Matter of fact, game ended with the bases loaded. But Alabama able to prevail. They will play tomorrow against Tennessee in our first game. The winner of this one gets 5th seeded Georgia. Yep. So Barfield working into the 4th now.
You know, I just got a text from Josh Barfield. I played with him in San Diego. This is his cousin, Jaden Barfield.
Yeah.
You know, the dad, big power hitter.
Oh, yeah.
It's his dad's brother, or you know, they're brothers. Yeah. And so, Josh watching his cousin pitch.
Well, listen, we were thinking that if Skip Johnson could get 2-3 innings out of Jaden, it'd be a win, right? And here we are, still fighting through this. 3 hits, 1 run allowed here in the top of the 4th inning.
Almost 60 pitches. He's given everything he's got. Got a 2-run lead, so why not stretch him?
He walked Hanson his first time up. Oklahoma going to stay lefty whenever Barfield's run is over. It appears. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Won't end right now. Barfield gets the strikeout. That's his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon.
Slider's been good. Again, he had more strikeouts than innings pitched, and this is why. I mean, that thing is moving left to right, away from the barrel for Hanson. And Kentucky has 3 lefties in this lineup. Jaden Barfield's done a fantastic job against those guys.
Ice Gargett, first pitch he sees, lifted high in the air, out to left. Gamble to the warning track, and he'll make the catch a few feet shy of the wall. 2 down. Conversation. Hudson Brown 0 for 1. Hudson's average at 248. He looks at a first pitch strike.
Remember, Jaden Barfield's longest outing, 38 pitches this year. That was back at the beginning of April. He's at 62 right now.
Hey, man, ride that arm as long as you can in game 1. Again, just the second start of the season for Barfield. His 17th appearance overall. That one is knocked down over there at third by Willis, and he's not going to be able to get up in time and make a play on it. That'll go as a base hit for Brown, his first today. 1 for 2 now.
It's the right approach. Left-handed hitter just stayed through it, let it travel all the way in the zone. Willis almost with a fantastic play, got the short hop and the dive, wasn't able to glove it.
4th hit for Kentucky this afternoon. Devin Burke's the 9-hole hitter. What are you thinking? You got to get Burks here. You don't want this to flip back to Tyler Bell. Ground ball to third, and this one is gloved by Willis. He'll go to second, and they do just that. They get Burks, and Oklahoma walks off the field with a 3-1 lead when we come.
So, Coach, you had Scott Roush and then Evan Byers, now Jackson Novi. What's the plan the rest of the way?
Yeah, you know, we talked about, because of the format, you guys know this. This is this is all hands on deck, right? Like, so we got Novi, we've got Simon. We literally have all but maybe 2 arms available. I was filling out my card before, and it was like, man, we got a lot of arms available. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's the nature of this and the format. So plan is for Novi needs to at least get us a couple here, and then we can see where we're at in our lineup to see who's next.
You thinking at all about NCAA tournament stuff?
I think about that all the time. Like, but no, this, like, our focus has been this, you know, and that's why I give this team a lot of credit, man. We've been in some tight ball games. We've won a lot, we've lost some, but this team has been good at, like, just focusing on the task at hand and what's in front of them. So part's been good for these guys.
All right, well, we'll let you go. Focus on the task at hand. Thank you, buddy.
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right,
get this first out. See you.
All right, see you, man.
I love it.
He is all energy all the time.
Yeah, I did the game a few weeks ago. He set us up at a steakhouse, my daughter and I, and gave us his booth where he usually sits.
That's big time.
And he sat out there with everybody else, and just awesome dude, that guy right there.
He has developed quite the program at Kentucky. I mean, it has just been amazing what a factor they have become in the SEC.
And he has built that.
Yeah.
You know, he told us the story, you know, about going in the proximity of the ballpark, handing out free season tickets, getting people excited about University of Kentucky baseball. And now, like you mentioned, they've got the new ballpark over there, and there's a lot to sell in Lexington.
And he can sell. I got to tell you, as Kyle Branch fouls that one straight back. When he was an assistant at Mississippi State and my son was really young, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, he had met Sam. And Sam wasn't with me. I was in Starkville. He's like, you got to bring Sam over here. I will put him in the outfield. You can shag fly balls. I will put a player with him to protect him, but he's got to come. He's got to enjoy this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if my son came here at 8 years old and shagged fly ball, he would go to Mississippi State. That's what he does. I mean, he's like, he is just he can get you on board his plan.
And it's funny you say that, because the 2 games I did against Oklahoma pregame, 30 or 40 kids on the field before each game, because he says that they're either going to play here or they're going to be a fan here, and I'm developing this fan base. And there's a lot to like about Nick Mingione and that group.
Well, I brought a Mississippi State hat home to Sam, my son. This was years ago. My wife went to Ole Miss. I'm still trying to find a Mississippi State hat. We don't know where it went. Shockingly, it just disappeared. But she says, I don't know. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
Mississippi State, when I was there, one more last thing about Mississippi State. During a football game years ago, somebody sent me up a cowbell. And look, I went to Florida State, so I have no connection to anybody here. I just want good games all the time, just so people know out there I don't favor anything. But don't touch my cowbell.
Thought we needed more cowbell.
We do. We need more cowbell.
Yeah.
It sits up in my office, and it's nice.
Well, his wife Kristen too does a lot of work down there. Son Reeves, like the team just gravitates around.
That ball's lifted into left center. Page will make the catch. That's the first out.
Jackson Novy carves up the left-handers. 128 batting average against. He just got that Harris right there. And like you heard Mingione say, it's just kind of hitter by hitter, all hands on deck. Jackson Novy, low 90s fastball. Much better against the left-handed hitters than the right-handers. He might call him out.
Well, Oklahoma dugout certainly, Oklahoma was barking for that exact call.
That's tough. When you bunt the ball and it goes in the field of play and then it hits you, that's what the call is. Or even on the plate. What a bad bounce if you're Willis. Hit the backside of that plate, which does have a little indention on it, and kicks forward.
It's hard to see where he was in the box on that. Skip Johnson out to discuss it. I don't think he's very happy about it. I don't necessarily know that Eric Gaucher is going to change his mind. We're going to go back and bring the group in.
Tries the drag bunt. Takes off, and it just takes a bad hop. I think he hit him on that right knee.
Was he out of the box though when it hit him? It's hard to kind of see.
You would have had to been, right, because the ball wasn't in there. I mean, he was over the plate, it looked like, when the ball hit him.
Now, I don't think we can review, if I'm correct on this, balls fair or foul inside the bags.
So yeah, let's see where the left foot. It's just hard to tell.
They're going to bring Nick Mingione
Yeah, I think
out.
that's ultimately the call, as he was still in the box.
I just don't know how my one concern if they overturn this is I don't know how a third base, first base umpire who is 90 feet away can make that call.
Well, they influenced it.
Yeah.
Willis gets another shot.
So Willis, he'll take it. Have Willis lay down another bunt? Attempt to lay down another bunt?
Well, that clearly wasn't to move the runner. That was to try to get a base hit. Now Herrera at third base is up near the bag.
Willis 0 for 1 today, average at 229. Dawson hitting ninth in this lineup. Then it's back to Jason Walk. 1-2 the count. That one's fouled back out of play. Our night session tonight. You get the Florida Gators a 10 seed. And South Carolina a 15 seed. Tom Hart, Lance Cormier on the call for that one tonight. And then the nightcap, if we can get it in, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. Apparently there's some weather off in the distance. Hopefully it will slow down. Although, Tom, there's nobody better in a rain delay than Tom. He's got this covered. He's really good around 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but that'll really mess with your golf game. Of course, you won't be playing that late at night. But
who's to say? Who's to say? Ground ball to the right side. See if the Cats can turn it here. Lawrence to Bell across the diamond. They get the out. Good defensive work by the Cats to get off the field. 3-1 Sooners out in front after 4. May 26th at noon. Find out where everybody's going over on ESPN2. See if there will be 13 SEC teams. The ACC's had a heck of a year. Can it be another SEC, ACC, College World Series? 4 teams from each conference a year ago. Certainly looks like it could be with the depths of the 2 leagues.
6 of the last 7 national champions coming from the SEC. All of them top 8 national seeds since 2017, including Arkansas, who made it to the final in 2018. But all top 8s except for Ole Miss in that big run they made in 2022.
James Hitt getting the baseball now. And what a job for Jaden Barfield. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the 26th appearance for James Hitt, 3.1 ERA and 32 strikeouts in those 28 2/3 innings. So lefty back-to-back for Oklahoma. It's Tyler Bell in the top of the lineup for the Kentucky Wildcats. Down a pair of runs here in the 5th.
Mid-90s fastball from James Hitt. And he's in there to get the left-handers. 191 against left-handed hitters. Right-handers hitting 311. Jaden Barfield, what a day. 66 pitches, the 4 innings. Gave Oklahoma all they could ask for.
Skip Johnson yesterday telling us, man, if we get 2 or 3 good innings out of Barfield, that'd be great. If we get 4, I'm going to be jumping up and down. Now, I don't know if he's been jumping up and down.
Yeah, I was looking to see if he was.
Yeah. But, boy, what a job he did. Just his 2nd start of the year. Hadn't thrown but just 14 innings coming into this one and get you 4 solid here at the SEC tournament. Tyler Bell 0 for 2. Fouls that one off. Bell has just been a remarkable story this year. I mean, this guy has been on base in all but 1 game this year. The switch hitter did home runs from both sides of the plate last weekend. It's such a talented group of shortstops in this league. Sometimes he gets a little overshadowed.
Yeah, speaking of talented shortstops, Kentucky had Ryan Ritter. You remember him,
Oh,
the Gold
yeah.
Glover. He and Tyler Bell went to the same high school, Lincoln Way East. Of course, Tyler Bell a little bit younger in Frankfort, Illinois. High school producing some big-time shortstops.
Bell's reached in 24 straight. And 51 of 52 games this year. For those that haven't followed his story, he was drafted 66th overall in last year's draft. Highest selected high schooler to reach a college campus this year. Leads the team in doubles with 17. Swing and a miss, and that one falls out of the mid of Carmichael. He thinks he got it. Carmichael says it came out on the transition. Eric Gaucher not buying it. Let's see for ourselves.
High slider doesn't really come down, but fools Tyler Bell. Swings right through.
Oh, yeah. That is a strikeout.
It does look like a transition.
That one misses 2-2. We'll see how this at-bat plays out. But that clearly looked like he held on.
Surprised there wasn't a bigger argument for that.
To get Tyler Bell to start the inning would be a huge out. Pumps that one in there at 95. This one's lifted down the line and right. Harris will make the catch, so it took a few extra pitches, but they do get Tyler Bell.
Good numbers for James Hitt. 28 innings, 2/3, the 32 strikeouts, only the 9 walks. And most appearances out of the pen for Oklahoma outside of Jason Bowden. And I think, like Jaden Barfield, the starter, they're hoping to get at least 2 or 3 from James Hitt.
Here's Luke Lawrence, 2 for 2 today, single and a double. He's handled the left-handed pitching well today. Two and 0. Fouled back.
Well, coming into this game, Luke Lawrence already hits lefties better than righties. 330. Ability to stay through the baseball.
Two and 2 now.
Man,
Lawrence.
that's a quick swing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, in a 2-1 count, you're still protecting against that slider. When they throw it up and in and you're able to get a piece of it, that's pretty impressive, because Luke Lawrence has to be protecting against the worst that can happen, which is that slider on the outside corner.
So another pitch clock violation. 3-2 count now. That is ball 4. Yeah, I don't think Lawrence realized that there was a ball added to the account. So he gets the free pass down to first base.
Luke Lawrence has reached base all 3 times. Base hit back in the first, a double scored back in the third with 1 out. Gives Cats a little bit of life here in the 5th.
Cole Hage now 0 for 1. The 3-hole hitter has walked and struck out today. Average has dipped 1 point down to 321. It leads this team with 12 homers and 39 runs batted in. Ground Ground ball to the left side. Backhanded there by Willis. He'll go to second. Can they turn it? Oh, was that fantastic? Little leather from Oklahoma.
Wow. Willis, all defensive out of LSU. Eunice, sorry, made a mistake in this game, but this is impressive. The short hop backhand and the accurate throw over to second, the flip. And the Sooners off the field up by 2.
Was a single elimination, obviously, portion to the tournament the last few years. The first day of the tournament was a single. Tuesday was a single elimination game, and then you get into the double elimination part of the event from that point on. But only 14 of the 16 teams, or 12 of the 14 teams, got here.
Just made for a long week, even if you were a top seed. You know, start on Wednesday, have to figure out a way to win, what, 4 games?
Yeah.
Now this year, I think it's set up better for the top 4 seeds. They can play it like a weekend in the SEC. They can keep their rotation the same, you know, for next week. The day's rest for their pitchers.
Jason Walk will lead things off. Walk's last time at the plate was quite explosive. Fouls that one down the line and out of play. That was pretty good right there now.
He's ready for it.
The 1-2 sails up and away.
What the Oklahoma offense in this game. The 56 strikes that Kentucky has thrown before this inning. Only 6 swing and misses by Oklahoma. Thank you, Ken. That's pretty impressive. That's putting the bat on the ball.
Walk didn't take the bat off his shoulder that time.
Outside of this inning,
yeah.
Oklahoma's been really good at putting the ball in play.
So Gamble now will step in against Jackson Novy. Gamble has singled and walked today, scored a run, stole a base. Oh, 2. High in the air, out to right. McCoy make the catch, 2 down. Boy, the wind is definitely picked up. I'm looking at these trees out in right field and the flags. I mean, it is howling out there in the outfield.
Yeah, almost straightaway center. This is the time when you come to the plate and you feel like you have to lift the ball, and you end up hitting ground balls everywhere.
Well, it was a nice calm day, and about 5 minutes ago, you see those trees start moving around pretty briskly. He doesn't care.
Taking a nap.
Fouled straight back. Everybody's all right, it appears. Easton Carmichael. Well, he is, I mean, a heart and soul of this team. Comes from a family of Sooners. Dad played at Oklahoma in the early 90s. Brother pitched for the Sooners just a couple of years ago. I mean, he is all in on Oklahoma. Crushed it last year in the Big 12. Hit .406 in Big 12 games. That led the league. Hammers this one out to left. Did it get the wind? did not carry enough to the warning track, and that is where that ball will go to die. The end of 5, 3-1, Sooners out in front. There's a strike. Walk with that 2-run shot. Back in the 3rd inning, his 8th home run of the year. That one is off the plate to James McCoy. There is Mr. Walk. See if that home run holds up. Nice to have a guy in your leadoff spot that's got 8 long balls for you.
Can run, hit for power, play defense.
That ball shot out to right.
You got room. You got room.
Catch made there by Harris. Again, that ball just kept kind of going and going. I didn't think it was going to get middle of the warning track.
We talked about Justin LeBron in the earlier game about having the 5 tools. Jason Walk out there in center is pretty close. Hit for power, hit for average, the arm, can run, play defense.
Walk 16 stolen bases. I would say that would classify as a pretty talented leadoff man in your lineup. They will shade Patrick Herrera in the outfield a little bit to right center. Oh, there is a huge gap in left center right now. There's a lot of room between Gamble and Walk. Herrera's been a little banged up this year. Young man hitting .293 with a couple of homers and 32 runs batted in.
He just came back a couple weeks ago against Oklahoma in the DH role, and now he's back at 3rd base today.
Injury bug has certainly affected Kentucky. They've had to put out 23 consecutive different starting lineups heading into this tournament because of injuries. That one's out to right. Long run for Harris, and it'll be a foul ball. Couldn't catch up to it.
Well, Nick Mingione told us that too. 2023 and 2024, he said he had everybody available going into the postseason.
Yeah.
This year, he had lost 7 as of a couple weeks ago. And you're right, they've dealt with a lot of the injuries and certain other things that hasn't really gotten them before this year.
That's why when we talked to him earlier in this game, he was like really proud of his guys to even be in this position to get to the postseason with all that they've had to overcome. I mean, completely had to revamp the roster from last year. Lost their 3 starting pitchers, just about every position player. And here they are right on the cusp of getting back into the NCAA field of 64.
Yeah, and that Will Marcy kid that was listed right there, the outfielder,
Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to be special in the fall. He had most of his teammates giving him the MVP of the fall, and he gets hurt.
Herrera swings and misses, and that'll be out number 2. So James hit with his first strikeout today.
Man, that slider's got some bite on it, doesn't it? It's tight, looks like the fastball, and just keeps going down and down into the dirt. Herrera not able to catch up.
Carson Hansen. Carson struck out his last time, walked his first time. So far, the 2 arms for Oklahoma, Barfield and James Hitt, have been a hit. Barfield 4 innings pitched, 66 pitches, both season highs for him. They've allowed 4 hits and just 1 run. 2-1 the count.
Smoke. 2-0. 2 outs. No fastballs coming, and you blow it by somebody.
95.
Strong.
Now it's run to 3-1.
95's got some cut on it too.
Shot out to left, but right at Gamble. Barely has to move. Catch is made, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 frame. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Oklahoma up a couple of runs. Warm afternoon here in Hoover. Last year's tournament drew a record 180,000 fans. Wonderful hit there. There's a couple fewer games this year. I think there were 17 games last year. I think there are only 15 in this format. So it may be hard to top that total. There were 15,600 fans here for the championship game last year. Tennessee and LSU. Second largest in tournament history and third largest in the history of this stadium. Gators hoping they can make it to championship Sunday. Our opening game will be coming up after this one. They get to take on South Carolina.
What a run they've been on.
Started 1-11 and finished 15-3 in the league.
Incredible.
There he is, the legend himself, Kevin O'Sullivan.
Brought him the first national championship in 2017.
Ground ball left side, just past a diving bell. So Jackson Willits now 1 for 2 today. So we've seen this league, seen just about everybody. I don't know how many teams. I think I missed Vandy this year, but if you had to pick a team, the most complete team of the 16 in the SEC this year, what would be, who would win that award for most complete team?
Maybe I'm overreacting to Arkansas when they swept Texas.
Yeah.
But I really like Arkansas. I thought they have, the starters are good, the bullpen. You know, Gage Wood came back off of injury. He's dynamic. The offense is as good as it gets in the country. They've got the MVP of the league playing shortstop for him. And oh, by the way, his brother's not bad either. I still think Arkansas is probably the complete team.
Not that anybody cares, but I completely agree with you.
Okay. I care.
There are some really good teams. I think LSU is close to being
well,
but I just think that Arkansas has what you said. The Gage Wood coming back thing is a piece to the pie that could get them elevated. They swing it better than anybody in this league. They lead the league in team batting average. Dave Van Horn has just done a marvelous job with that team. Arkansas's team ERA.
I think they were
5th.
top 2 in the conference and defensively. So
yeah.
Just complete team. They're the only team in the SEC top 3 in all 3 major categories. So maybe it's Arkansas's year. Dave Van Horn, 23rd season, man.
There are a couple of teams out there. You know, you talk about in golf a lot. Best players to not win a major. I really think there's probably 2 teams that fill that void. Best teams to not win a national championship in baseball. It's probably Arkansas and Florida State over the long run.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. But again, I just feel like they're more complete. They felt a little too heavy on Hagen Smith last year, like he had to win.
Yeah.
Now this year, you know, you've got a little more variety on the starters. And if they don't make it on a given day, they've got plenty of bullpen pieces. Parker Coyle's supposed to be back.
Texas had a good run, but they lose a big arm in that rotation, and we know how that happens. When you lose a 1 or 2 guy in your rotation, it kind of rearranges everything. You never know how that's going to shake out.
Aaron Spencer went down, and if your number 2 was supposed to be your number 1, then they would have made you the number 1.
Right.
So when you
Yeah.
lose your 2, you're right. Everybody moves up, and Texas is still great.
Yeah, no
I mean,
doubt.
you know, we've got some great teams, but
I think Vanderbilt's a team that has just kind of been that train coming down the tracks. It's been kind of quiet. This one's lifted in the air by Taki down the line and left. Page makes the catch. The tag at first will be successful. Well, we talk about the top 8 national seeds. Texas with a regular season championship. Arkansas a 2 seed. There's Vanderbilt, a 3 seed. North Carolina, Georgia, Auburn, LSU, and Oregon round out. At this point, super regional teams if they can get out of the regional.
Vanderbilt snuck up on me a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. That's that little train that's just coming, you know,
Yeah.
and then boom.
Yeah, 268 as a group, you know, not a whole lot of power. Riley Nelson's having a big year. J.D. Thompson has pitched great at times. Cody Bowker, and of course Sawyer Hawks, just ridiculous out of the pen.
Connor Fennell's been an addition to that staff that has changed things around too. As Sam Christensen grabs a bat, a sophomore stepping in the batter's box. Quick meeting on the mound. Devin Burke's calling time for a moment. Jackson Willits down there at second base for the Sooners. Jackson started the inning with a base hit. Christensen swing and a miss. Redshirt sophomore. A transfer in from Southern Mountain Community College in Mesa, Arizona. That hit him.
Well, was that a gift? Lefty on lefty matchup. Favors Jackson Novi, but just lets one loose. Arm side into the elbow of the pinch hitter, which is hard enough to do. You've been sitting for 3 hours and try to get up there and face a guy like Novi.
So now Kyle Branch. That'll get past Burks. Everybody will move up. So now second and third for the Sooners in 1 out.
2 gifts in a row. Hit by pitch and then a pass ball. Just felt like as a hitter with that guy standing on third with less than 2 outs, you know, nothing's ever easy in baseball, but it makes it a lot less difficult for the hitter now. The middle infield will be back, corners in. At this point, you're just looking up the middle.
Branch 1 for 2 today, sitting at .306 for the year. A freshman out of Lucas, Texas, manning that second base spot. Of course, his brother Colby playing some ball for the University of Georgia.
Doing well.
Playing some high-level ball.
Yeah, shortstop.
That one's down in the dirt. Kyle on the year with 2 home runs, but his first home run was an inside the park variety. 3rd game of his Oklahoma career. Game against Lehigh. Three and one now.
I don't know if they're overly concerned about walking him. It sets up the double play, and you certainly aren't going to groove one down the middle to allow Branch to score these 2 runs.
Fouls that one out of play. 3 and 2.
This is a pitch with the intent of getting a swing and miss. Whether it's an elevated fastball, I think that's what he tried to do there, or some sort of off speed on a 3-2 count when Branch has to be looking for the heater.
Ground ball to the right side. Only play is going to be at first, and they're able to get Branch, but the run will come in to score as Willits touches home. Now 4-1 ball game.
Yeah, a little weird play right there. He had the momentum to throw it home, but just too big of a jump for Jackson Willits. And so now Brown has to just get the out. Nice job just recovering to get that second out. But the intent, of course, with the corners in is to get the out at home. Wasn't able to do it.
Nick Mingione. Looks like he's going to make a change on the mound. Oklahoma trying to stretch this lead out. It's 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Back in a moment. They've been in the finals 15 times, the last coming in 2022. Won 7 of these events over the years. As Hayden Smith could care less about those numbers, he's trying to get some outs. The sophomore left-hander, another lefty, making his 13th appearance.
In there to get Desan Harris, the left-handed hitter. Left-hander's only hitting 125 off of him, 200 points higher for the right-handers. It's kind of a combination of fastball slider, lefty-lefty matchup for Hayden Smith. And then we go from there.
So here is Desan Harris to face the lefty Hayden Smith. Harris looks at ball 1. You know, the 30-game grind in this league, and it is a grind. As a freshman, it's got to be crazy to play this kind of baseball with 2 outs. And that is it for the inning, so it didn't take long for Smith to do his job.
The 4th run for the Sooners.
So 6 hits for Oklahoma and 4 runs, 4 hits and 1 run for the Cats. They'll start things off with Caius Gargett. He will look at a first pitch strike. I'd say that's a pretty good number, 28-1 when leading after 6 innings.
It's always 1, isn't it? It's like they're never undefeated.
Gargett 0 for 2, but a .277 batting average. By the way, we're talking about Alabama after 8 innings. It was 28-1 as Gargett gets a base knock to start things off. That Alabama 1 loss when leading after 8 is when Vanderbilt hit a 3-run homer to beat him.
And that's what we were talking about Vanderbilt. That kind of seems like what they do. They just come up at big moments. I mean, they had 2 walk-offs against Kentucky this past weekend. And even though the numbers won't pop out at you for Vanderbilt, they're just always solid under Tim Corbin.
Here is Hudson Brown as Kentucky trying to make a little noise. 1 on and nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. Hudson Brown hits 8th in this lineup, singled his last time up. Oh, and 2 the count. Ground ball to the right side. They'll go to second with it. Try to go back to first, and they get the double play. The old 3-6-3 twin killing, and the Sooners with a big double play here in the 7th.
That's strong. First to glove it. Clear yourself for the runner. Accurate throw to second, then the transfer back over to first. 2 long throws in that double play. And nice job on both sides.
A couple of double plays turned by the Sooners here this afternoon. And now Devin Burks with 2 down. He's 0 for 2 today. Make it 0-2. Off the plate, regardless of what happens to Burks, the top of this lineup will get some action in the 8th inning. Bell, Lawrence, and Hage. Line right to third. That's 3 times Burks has hit it over there to Willis today. 4-1 Oklahoma heading to the bottom of the 7th. Well, the Kentucky Wildcats sitting right there on the bubble, the proverbial bubble. Finished 13-17 in conference play, and RPI in the 30s. Now, since 1999, 12 SEC teams have finished with 13 conference wins and an RPI in the 30s. 4 of those 12 reached the NCAA tournament, including Florida last season.
Yeah, I mean, we had 5 13-win teams last year that got in. Kentucky, the 9th toughest schedule in the country, the 5th toughest schedule within the SEC. They've lost 12 games within the conference by a total of 17 runs, 8 one-run losses for Kentucky. You take half of those, and they're talking about hosting in Lexington.
Looks like the Gators might have to be one of those teams again until they turn the corner. After just 1 win in their first 12, the bunt attempt goes for naught. 0-2 the count. Gators finished up 14-4 in the league. Get South Carolina next. Yeah, we've seen some teams sneak in. Ole Miss, last team in, host the trophy that year.
You know, I heard a story the other day about that. Louisiana Tech playing UTSA for the conference championship. Yeah. Tech's already in a couple years ago, 2022. UTSA has the lead to try to get the automatic bid. Tech walks them off in the bottom of the 9th, so UTSA does not get in, which allowed Ole Miss to get in 2022 as the last team in. Because if UTSA holds 3 outs against Louisiana Tech, UTSA steals that bid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Amazing how that works.
And now they get a national championship.
Because and then roll it out.
Yeah.
And then the whole Bianco situation, you know, with, kind of being on the hot seat that year, and now all of a sudden.
Ole Miss had a really, really good year this year. Rebels, under Mike Bianco, squarely in the field. They finish up 16-14. 37-18 overall. Lifted high in the air, shallow left field. Page makes the catch. That'll be out number 1. Auburn's a team.
Another sneaky team. You know, I mean, they got a couple parts of that offense. Ike Irish, one of the best.
Samuel Dutton has just been really good.
Yeah, he came over from LSU and kind of pitching with a fire at him now after kind of how it went down in Baton Rouge, and he's a real ace. He's a dude.
Here is Jason Walk. How about his brother Andrew? Transfers in from Division III Birmingham Southern after they dropped the baseball program, and just kind of on the team, coaching first base. Gets 1 at-bat late in the year, and his 1 at-bat goes yard.
Similar to what we saw in the LSU-Tennessee series when Josh Pearson got pinch hit for by his brother John, and John goes deep.
John's going to be a hitter, though.
Oh, yeah, he's strong.
Here's the 0-2 to Walk. Allen just misses. Right, they called strike 3 in there, catches it. Looked like it was a little bit outside, but hey, how about the Andrew Dunn hit? Right on cue. I mean, this is like storybook stuff. His one at-bat of the year.
That will fire some people up.
He's been coaching first base. His baseball program at Birmingham Southern just had no school. And they get to the Division III College World Series last year and came back to Birmingham, and there's nothing there. And he's lucky enough, and Butch Thompson was happy enough to take him for a year so he could play with his brother Samuel, and that happens.
And no one was more proud of that moment than Sam, you know. I mean, it's just, we got a lot of brothers in this league. It's pretty cool.
Stays inside. Trey Gamble. There's a strike from Smith. 2 down in the inning, 2-1 to count. Oklahoma gets Georgia. So the Branch family, if Oklahoma can hang on, still 6 outs to go, but just made me think that the Branch families we talked about, they get to come here to Hoover and watch both the boys play if Oklahoma is able to win this. Georgia took 2 of 3 from Oklahoma in the regular season. Georgia took 2 of 3 from Kentucky during the regular season.
Yeah, Georgia start off hot. Won their first 3 series, 2 sweeps. Swept Florida, swept Auburn, and they got swept at Texas and Vanderbilt. A&M 2 out of 3 this past weekend.
Justin Lampkin in that game for Texas A&M against Georgia on game 2. 3-hit complete game shutout with 15 strikeouts, and did not, this is the nugget that just blows my mind away, did not have a single 3-ball account. No 3-ball counts. Called strike 3. Inning is over. Smith fired up, trying to get his offense going. They need some runs. It's the top of the order coming up for Kentucky. It'll be Bell, Lawrence, and Hage.
Sooners have been able to hold Kentucky to only 1 run, large in part for the double plays. How about Barfield home to first, back in the first inning, get him out of bases loaded. Jam Willis with the pick and the double play over. And then how about Sam Christensen, who just came in the game at first base, a long throw over to second, back over to first. 3 double plays for the Sooners. They have limited Kentucky to only 5 hits, the 1 run.
Tyler Bell to lead things off. He is 0 for 3 today. Tyler has yet to reach base. He's done that 24 consecutive times. 51 of 52 games this year. Average is down to 307. He's ahead in this count, 2-0 though. Just feel like this is a moment, could be a defining moment for Kentucky in this game right here at the top of the lineup.
Defining moment in their season. I mean, we don't know how this is going to play out, but they got 1, 2, 3 coming up, down by 3. You got to be patient. Tyler Bell's doing that.
There's another strike. It's 2-2. Little chopper right back to the mound, and a relatively easy first out. And a big first out to get him off the base paths.
Yeah, for the Sooners, when they've only allowed 2 runners on base to start innings in this game, and they'll tell you a lot about pitchers throwing strike one, and of course as a defense getting the first out, and Oklahoma's done a great job of that today.
UK's top 3 hitters in the lineup, 2 for 8, a double and a run. Here's Luke Lawrence. He has those 2 hits. Singled in the first, doubled in the third, walked in the 5th. .93 miles an hour in there for a strike. James hit 3 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. The 0-2 just off the plate.
Yeah, if you're hunting fastball right there, you swing and miss through that slider. So Luke Lawrence has done a great job all day long of just letting that ball travel. At this point, you eliminate the pull side, look up the middle the other way, let the ball go in there as long as possible. You take the balls and then just drive it to left field if you get that slider again.
Oh, it's down the zone. Good take there, 2-2. Shot to the left side, base hit for Lawrence, his 3rd today. He's reached base all 4 times. Hey, next Wednesday, May 28th at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's 6 Central for Todd, just so he knows. SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the SEC baseball tournament with never-before-seen footage and sounds from the semifinals and championship games. It's a real behind-the-scenes look you can only get one place, and it's right here on this very network, the SEC network.
Luke Lawrence has just battled lefties all day. I mean, he's 60 points higher lefty on lefty matchup. Such a great job of just staying within himself, letting the ball travel into the zone, taking what the pitcher gives him.
Here's Cole Hage. Cole today looking for his first hit, a walk, a strikeout, hit into a double play. Hage, a 3-time first team all Ivy League selection. This guy, I mean, he is a big old boy, right? I mean, 12 homers, 39 runs batted in, also leads the team in stolen bases.
Basketball, football, baseball out of Fargo, North Dakota. Went to Columbia. 26 home runs in 3 years. It was all Ivy League everything for 3 years.
Nice take there. You can tell he kind of wanted to pull the trigger last minute, said nope.
He did pull the trigger the time before, and he learned from it. Yeah, and that's all hitting is, you know, adjusting pitch by pitch and learn from your mistakes. He swung it one low. No, he's going to get it again. James Hitt's very smart. He's going to put it where he can't be hit. He might try it again. Boy, if Cole Hage could get through this pitch. Now you got a 3-2. First base occupied. In a great spot.
Ground ball. Willits, they'll go to second, try to get a double play out of it. Can't do it as Hage gets down the line. But they do pick up the second out of the inning.
And that's what I mean by letting the ball travel. Right there, Cole Hayes let one travel and was able to spit on the ball low, but then he gets aggressive again, tries to get the barrel out in front. He just rolls over it to the left side. Almost a double play, too quick, but second out for the Sooners here in the 8th.
James McCoy now with 2 down. He's 1 for 3 today. There's a good shot right there. Doesn't get much better than that.
Right on the logo. Pretty cool. This is where home runs matter. Not that you play a midweek and bang 5 or 6 homers out. This moment when you need one. And, you know, like you talked about how powerful Georgia is. You know, you fully expect them to come up big in a situation like this. This is where you need a spark.
The tying run is on deck right now. 3-0 count to James McCoy. Fastball in there for a strike. Into the seats.
This is where you got to be careful if you're Hayes at first. You're not trying to steal. You're just trying to take off when the pitch is thrown, but you certainly don't want to get picked off. And of course, they may not even be holding him on, but he can easily creep in behind you. Just let him deliver the ball. When you see the ball delivered to home is when you take off.
Ground ball to the right side. Now Branch fields and throws. And James hit doing a number. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and the big number 0 on the scoreboard. I just found out you drove that here.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, have you banged that off a couple of things like stop signs or telephone poles or anything?
No, when you're on the interstate, you just keep it straight. Big wide turns.
Out to center field. That one just keeps going. Carmichael into this brisk wing, going to turn the corner and head for third. Here's the throw, not in time. And how about Easton Carmichael? He got on his bus and ended up at third base.
Man, has he been good in the middle of this order. Easton Carmichael just killing it within the SEC. And that is the deepest part of the park on a 4-seam fastball. Out over the plate, busted. And the Sooners already up by 3. Looking to add an insurance run, at least 1. Nice effort by Hansen out center, but not enough.
Something about conference play. He elevates his game. I told you last year he had over 400 in Big 12 conference games.
Yeah, I mean, that OPS number from Easton Carmichael is massive. 1.6 probably went up, did go up after that triple.
Infield in. Jackson Willits. So right now, if you're Willits, you're in here. You're just saying anything I can do to get the ball in the air at this point.
Create a little launch angle. Again, it's not easy, but you know the main thing you're looking for is keep the pitch up. Like, you know the pitcher, whether or not he's a sinker ball guy or not. And for Smith, he's more of a 4-seam straight with the slider. And at this point, when you're behind in the count, you're just looking to put the ball in play. But yeah, I mean, get the bottom half of the ball and put it in the outfield. Infield's in, so you certainly don't want to hit a ground ball. Easier said than done.
He's behind 1 and 2. He does lift it in the air out to center. This will be plenty to get Carmichael home. So Willits does his job. And Oklahoma puts another one on the board. It's now 5-1 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Leadoff triple by Easton Carmichael. 3-4-5 coming up for the Sooners. They expect you to do some damage, and they did. Axton Willits gets the job done. The sac fly out to center. Now the Sooners lead by 4.
Dayton Taki comes to the plate looking for his first hit today. He looks at a strike. Kentucky had an opportunity with Bell, Lawrence, Page, McCoy all getting an at-bat in the 8th. Now it'll be Herrera, Hansen, and Gargett to try to get things going for Nick Mingione's club. That one's lifted high in the air, shallow left. Catch made out there by Hage. 2 down.
You know what I love about Kentucky? They've hired a lot of their own in the coaching staff. Yeah. Austin Casuno is the recruiting. Remember, he was at Kentucky 2012 to 2014. He was a 3rd rounder. Logan Salo, remember that closer, 1.95 back in 2017. Ryder Giles is part of this coaching staff. So Kentucky has hired a lot of their own as part of this group.
Mingione wearing out a path out to the mound. He's going to make one more change here with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Oklahoma up by 4. Oklahoma fell behind 1-0, but didn't take them long to reclaim the lead, and they have pushed it out to 4. Sooners in their first ever SEC baseball tournament. First time they've ever played here at Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. So far, so good. They need 3 more outs to close it out. We're in the bottom of the 8th, and the Cats going back to the bullpen one more time and pulling up Tommy Skelding. Going to get the baseball here and try to get 1 out and get his team back in the dugout.
Primarily fastball slider from Tommy Skelding. He has 17 2/3 on the year. Only the 7 walks. Fastball's about 50%. Changeup's about 40%. Tommy Skelding in there to get this last out. Hopefully his offense can get going. Top of the 9th.
First pitch fouled off. Sam Christensen came in as a pinch hitter, stayed in the game to play first base. You see the OU bullpen with Hensley and Crooks. Fouled again down the first base side. Dylan Crooks with 13 saves for Oklahoma this year. A couple of wins. He's been really good. Really good. ERA of just 2, 29 punch outs, 9 walks if they need him. Stays to the right side. And Kentucky will head to the dugout. They need a really big inning. Looking for a 4 spot to keep it going. They'll go to Dylan Crooks, though. Try to close things out for the Sooners here in the 9th inning.
Seen 2 premier closers today already. Carson Osmer for Alabama with the 16 saves. And now Dylan Crooks, the senior, 13 saves on the year. ERA microscopic at 2. See the strikeout to walk ratio. Big time fastball up to 95, 96 miles an hour. And the slider works against the right-handers. 31% swing and miss rate. But he's accurate. And a little unusual they bring him in. They've still got at least 1 more game to go, but getting Dylan Crooks some work in today.
I think it's a testament to how important in a single elimination game to get the first win and get you some going, because we've seen it a couple times today. These closers coming in game 1. I think it says a lot about what Skip thinks the importance of this game is.
And assuming Dylan Crooks can bounce back, you know, I mean, they're going to need him later in the week.
Patrick Herrera will be the first one to try to get Kentucky going offensively. Cats sitting on 6 hits today. Herrera at 291 with a couple of home runs. leadoff guys hitting 182 against Crooks this year.
Rest of the guys aren't doing much better.
Did he go? No swing. 1-2 the count. Carmichael back there trying to sell it for his pitcher.
That's close. About as close as it gets.
Chopped foul. Crooks has thrown 27 innings in his work this year. 29 strikeouts, just 9 walks. Boy, good take there on a low fastball, 2-2.
Yeah, he's not going to overwhelm you. Like, he doesn't have this amazing amount of strikeouts. He just hits spots and tough to square up, you know, with that fastball moving around. Slider's got big depth.
Well, now it's full 3-2. Three fouled off. Crooks a transfer in to Oklahoma's program from Paris Junior College. Lifted out to right. Harris on the run will make the catch for out number 1. Boy, Herrera hit it hard. Harris covering some ground in that outfield for the first out.
Great at bat by Patrick Herrera. You know, you need to be a little patient. Down by 4. He works at the full count. Puts a charge in that one, but just right at right field.
Georgia might appreciate that at bat if Oklahoma faces them tomorrow. Crooks making Crooks throw extra pitches today. Hansen 0 for 2 with a walk today, average at 250. Oh, and 2. That thing just snaps down at your shoelaces.
Yeah, and I think just looking out there with his stance, his closed stance, you know, kind of does things to you as a hitter as well. You know, it doesn't look like there's any way he's going to be able to bury that fastball inside to a left-handed hitter. And so it makes you look the other way,
yeah.
And then he does do it, and then you're late.
Boy, Barfield and Hitt were just fantastic. 4 innings apiece as they stand there looking on, hoping their partner Crooks can close it out for him. But boy, this set up perfectly for Skip Johnson today. And go back to one of those double plays in the first inning, bases loaded. Kentucky had an opportunity, and they get a comebacker to Barfield, and they starts the double play home to first. And who knows how this game would have turned out at a couple runs scored in the first.
Yep. Bases low in the first inning for Kentucky, top of the first, and now here we are in the 9th. We've only got 1 run. And this was dirty.
Yeah, that's not fair, this one.
Dylan Crooks, that's the fork ball that just drops.
Jeez.
You know, if you got the same arm action and you've been watching 95, you are gonna be out in front of this pitch, and especially where he puts it, where it just drops out of the zone below the knees.
I don't know why more guys don't throw that pitch.
Well, I mean, it goes back to Mike Scott with the Houston Astros back in the day, you know, and Casey Mize for Auburn had it. There was the national strikeout leader for Auburn named John Powell that threw it. And it's filthy, but it, you know, I think it does some damage to that elbow, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they've kind of shied away from it. It's it's the best pitch in baseball if you can do it. Casey Mize proved that a few years ago.
0-1 on Caius Gargett. Watching the World Baseball Classic a couple years ago, watching the Japanese team, it seemed like every pitcher they had came out there with some sort
Forks.
of, yeah.
Yeah. And it works kind of like a combination of the changeup and a knuckleball, you know. And again, you see the arm action from the pitcher, and so it makes you jumpy. And that thing's got some dancing knuckleball movement to it, and just
ugh, gross.
Yeah, it's so tough.
Gargett behind 1-2. Oklahoma 1 strike away. Fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Again with a fastball. Don't forget Florida and South Carolina coming up 5:30 Eastern time. Take a small break. Back to some baseball. Skip Johnson's club will play second game tomorrow if they can get this last out against the Georgia Bulldogs. And there it is. Gargett swings through it. And Oklahoma wins their first ever game in the SEC tournament. 5-1 the final score. And they'll move on to Wednesday, where the 5th seeded Georgia Bulldogs will wait the Sooners.
Hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. Kentucky got them. Got the sweep in Lexington in week 9. Oklahoma gets them today, moves to 15 wins within the conference. Oklahoma safely in the field of 64. Good day for them. 5 runs, 7 hits, the 1 error. A lot of great pitching, starting with Jaden Barfield. James hit for it at the end by Dylan Crooks.
Carmichael with a couple